Riding the Dalton Highway to Prudhoe Bay is one of the longest unsupported stretches of road in North America. These 414 miles of dirt and tarmac present a specific set of environmental hazards that dictate every gear choice you make. Look at the map. From Fairbanks, the route heads north into total isolation. Once you cross the Yukon River, you are committed to a landscape defined by extreme distance. You face three primary obstacles: a massive 245-mile gap between fuel pumps, road surfaces saturated with chemically treated mud, and constant commercial truck traffic. You are sharing a narrow, often icy lane with high-speed industrial trucks. They command the hard-packed center of the road, forcing you to navigate the soft, dangerous shoulders. Reaching the Arctic Ocean is less of a sightseeing trip and more of a test of your logistical planning. Most riders traveling from the lower 48 spend thousands of miles on smooth, high-speed pavement just to reach the Alaskan border. But that pavement eventually ends. It is replaced by deep ruts and slick, wet mud that can last for miles at a time. This creates a direct engineering trade-off, the compromise between tread life and Arctic traction. To survive the thousands of miles of transit to Alaska, you need a hard rubber compound. A soft off-road tire will physically burn away on the hot pavement before you even reach the dirt. However, once you hit the mud, you need deep, wide rubber lugs that can physically paddle through wet sludge to find grip. This choice of rubber is the most critical decision for the journey, as it determines your maintenance schedule, your overall budget, and your safety in the wet. This chart plots pavement longevity against mud confidence. Top left is the pragmatic choice, the 50/50 adventure tire. It provides 12,000 miles of tread life, letting you complete the round trip from the lower 48 to the Arctic without stopping for a tire change. The trade-off is performance. The tightly packed tread blocks required for highway longevity cannot physically clear wet, thick Dalton mud from the grooves. When you hit calcium chloride sludge, the tires pack full of clay. You lose lateral stability and the ability to steer through deep ruts. Choosing longevity means accepting a higher skill requirement. You have to ride slower and rely on precise throttle and braking fundamentals to stay upright in the slick sections. The 80/20 knobby tire ranks low for pavement life, but high for off-road traction. Its open tread provides mechanical grip in industrial mud. The drawback is durability. Soft rubber burns out on the highway after 3,000 miles, failing before you complete the return leg. This forces you into the Fairbanks swap. You have to ship a fresh set of tires ahead to a local shop specifically for the dirt segment. This adds logistical friction. You have to coordinate shipping, pay for shop labor, and time your arrival to match a mechanic's schedule. Prioritizing mud traction simplifies the riding, but it increases your total trip cost and makes your itinerary dependent on shop availability. Geography dictates your payload. There's a 245-mile dead zone between the fuel stations at Coldfoot and Dead Horse. Most adventure bikes cannot clear that distance on a standard tank. You must carry at least 2 gallons of auxiliary fuel to avoid being stranded. How you pack that fuel is as important as having it. You have to manage your motorcycle's center of gravity. If you strap heavy, dense liquids to a top rack, the weight acts as a pendulum. In deep ruts or mud, that high-mounted weight will pull the bike over during a slide. To maintain stability, your fuel and heavy tools must be secured at the lowest possible point on the chassis, preferably in the bottom of your side panniers. Effective Dalton preparation requires following the physics of weight distribution. High weight creates a direct physical risk in the dirt. The dirt on the Dalton is treated with calcium chloride. When wet, it forms a gray, corrosive paste that hardens onto your bike like cement. This paste bakes onto the engine and radiator. If left uncleaned, it hardens into a ceramic layer that blocks airflow and causes severe overheating. The hardened mud is also an abrasive. As it dries on your suspension, it can tear up your fork seals, leading to a total loss of suspension fluid. You have to follow a strict maintenance protocol. Apply protective silicone sprays, use fork seal covers, and vigorously wash your radiator. On the haul road, the mud is a chemical threat that requires immediate and daily mechanical attention. Your strategy depends on the trade-offs you accept. There is no perfect tire, only choices based on budget and comfort in the mud. If you want to maximize off-road safety and have the budget, follow the Fairbanks swap path. You pay for shipping logistics and shop time to run aggressive knobbies for the dirt segment. If you are on a strict budget and want to avoid the friction of a mid-trip maintenance stop, you choose the 50-50 longevity strategy. You run a hard compound tire for the whole trip, but you compensate by riding slower and avoiding the softest parts of the road. Regardless of your tire choice, the rules of physics apply to everyone. Pack your fuel low, protect your suspension seals, and clean your radiator daily. The Dalton Highway forces a choice between mechanical friction and physical risk. Success depends entirely on matching your equipment to the specific environmental hazards of the haul road.